Hi, thanks for joining me. I would love to talk about trauma today, and I'm sure you've heard the saying trauma makes you stronger, but I'm wondering, is that true? If you feel that the trauma is the thing that makes you stronger, are you giving your power away to that trauma? So many of you know that I've had trauma in my life in my early childhood, and I used to say it made me stronger. But I've realised that in saying that, I'm giving my power to the trauma. And what I've realised is the choices that I made after the trauma that made me stronger. There's so many people in the world right now that are going through trauma, whether it's through COVID, whether it's through losing their jobs, whether it's through people in their family dying. There's a lot of deaths right now. In my area, we've had 2 floods recently, and people have lost their homes, and the government are not helping them, so they are living in tents in their mouldy homes. There's so much trauma going around, and we all have circumstances that give us trauma in our life. But what makes us stronger is the choices that we make after that trauma. The choices that I made because of my early trauma have made me a very, very strong woman. They have made me delve into the subconscious mind. They have made me work through my barriers that used to prevent me being the real person who I wanted to be. And I'm so much stronger for it. So what I wanted to talk about is trauma and what trauma that you have in your life right now, and how are you handling it? Because I've recently gone through some trauma with floods. You know, I didn't get flooded in the first flood, but I was trapped for a week in my island. I call it Shaz's Island, because our estate is on a hill, but all around that we had water all around us. So for me, feeling trapped, feeling claustrophobic is a trigger from one of my early years. And so it's something that I've been working through. But sometimes when we go through a new trauma, the old traumas trigger. And it's a natural reaction. It isn't saying that I've gone backwards. It means that there's something else I have to address now. I'm so much stronger. I'm not as claustrophobic as I used to be, but I realise that there's something still to work on. Yet I am so much stronger than I was when I was a child. So is there something in your life where you think, oh my God, it's coming back again, I haven't healed, I'm still feeling like I did when I was 5 or 10 or 15 or 40? Because even though we can do all of this work on ourselves, anything can trigger. So recently I've been feeling a sense of dread every time I hear rain outside, because we've had that first flood, and then the last one last week was the water started coming in my house, and I'm here on my own, and I was up every week. This is why I didn't do a live video last week. I was up every hour making sure that water wasn't coming in. And so I spent this last week building sandbags, cementing the garden, so that it minimises the risk for that to happen again. Now we do have more flood warnings to happen over the next couple of days, but because of my choices, there was at the beginning of the week I went into despair. What am I going to do? I just went back into that old pattern of behaviour, and then I thought, no, you're better than this. You have inner strength. So I tapped into my inner strength, and I started building, and I started moving sandbags. I've moved 3.5 cubic metres of sand by myself this week, protecting the house. I had somebody help me do some concrete. So because of my choices, I feel prepared now for the next bout. And this is what life is about. No matter what's happened to us, it's about where we are now and the choices that we make, because whatever situation we go through, whatever life throws at us, we can overcome it. I've learned that building a community around me is really important. Just to be able to cry with somebody, or just be able to say, you know, please help me, or just somebody to listen to you is so, so important. So that's one of the actions that I take to take a step into healing myself, knowing that I have support around me, because we all need that. We all need some support around us to be stronger. So know that you can become stronger because of your choices as you respond to situations. And I know many people right now have many choices to make, especially in my area. Now I'm talking about my area because I've been tapping into it, trying to help the local community. And there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of people not knowing what they're going to do, what the next step is. But we know that people have to make choices. And so we could choose to tap into a negative energy, or we can choose to tap into a positive energy. And the positive energy is a thing that's going to make us stronger, and the positive energy is a thing that's going to drive us to create what we want in our life. So there's people in the world right now that have lost literally everything, and yet they still can create a new life for themselves. So if you're going through a trauma right now and you feel completely powerless, I'd like to ask you to tap inside of yourself and feel a time where you felt completely powerful. So it may have been when you were lifting weights. It may have been a time where you were walking down the aisle and you felt absolutely amazing. It may have been a time in your childhood where you won a gymnastic. You know, whatever it is for you, go back to a time where you felt completely powerful. Feel that in your body. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and feel powerful. Where in your body can you feel that powerful? And if you could put a colour and a shape to that feeling, what would it be? And where in your body is that feeling? So for me, my power is in my solar plexus area. It's orange, it's a circle. And when I think about that, I can step into my power. I can hold that circle outside of my body and step into it and feel that power within me. The power to be the person who I want to be in the future. The power to make the choices that will serve me. So this is a technique that I use with my clients, but also in my own life. So I'd like you to think about, what will you choose? What will be your choices to get you out of the trauma that you're currently in to the next step? And then think about, what actions will you take? Now, for somebody who's lost everything, there's going to be many, many actions, and it can get overwhelming. So to pick the first action, or pick the 5 actions and then concentrate on the first one, so then you have a plan. What do you need to do right now to move you forward in that next step? And maybe you've got some beliefs or values that you need to change. The beliefs and values in our life, we can change if they don't serve us anymore. A lot of them were given to us or shaped in our life because of what our parents told us or what society has told us. But if they do not feel right for you now, you have the power to change your beliefs and change your values, and you have the choice to be able to create the life that you want. Even though there's moments where you let overwhelm overtake you, or you let grief overtake you, that's a completely natural reaction. And that may last for an hour, it may last for a day, it may last for a week. But know that you have the power to make a choice to come out of that and then take the next step to get you to where you need to go. So I hope this helps you today. It's definitely what I've been using on myself this week. You know, when we're in the middle of the crisis, it's sometimes easy to forget and go into this old pattern of behaviour, this old spiral that we used to be going through. And so it's really, really important to know that you have the choice to change your behaviour and look to the future in a more positive way. So I'd like to leave you with that thought today. Your choices make your future. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.